Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Manu Issue ACCA classes. So in this video, we will discuss the further more question from the F3 so-called financial accounting, and this question is from the Kaplan Kit because lots of students do the question from the Kaplan Kit and they used to ask the question regarding this book. So that's why I have choose Kaplan. Okay, so in my previous video, I have done till question number 133. So moving forward, I will be continuing from 134. So guys, if you haven't missed out my previous video, you can still access those videos from the playlist available on my YouTube channel at free of cost. So hurry up, go guys and check out the video there. And in case you're watching my video for the first time, do not forget to subscribe my channel and share it among your friends so that they could have a benefit regarding the financial accounting paper. So let's discuss the today question, that's 134. What the question says, with what are the correct accounting entries to record this transaction? Okay, so the scene behind the question is that the Stung company who is registered to account for sales tax. So guys, in my previous video I have been told that don't get confused with the word sales tax or purchase tax. Okay, so basically sales tax means registered for the VAT or registered for the VAT, you can say in the simple word. And sales tax also means your output tax, and the purchase tax means your input tax, right? So or sometimes what the question do is they don't indicate the term sales tax and like input or output or purchase tax. Instead of that, they use the word sales tax in the whole the transaction of sales and purchase. So you need to identify, if I am charging the tax on the during my sales, it's my output tax and that need to be paid to HMRC. And in case of the purchase, if I'm paying the sales tax, that means I can reclaim those tax from HMRC. And that's why if even though the word the sales tax has been used for the purchase as well. Okay, so that means it's receivable. Okay, so you need to identify from the whether the transaction or tax sales tax that we are receiving or paying is related to the sales or purchase. Okay, so let's move further to read this question. And purchase a furniture on the credit. Listen the word credit. Okay, here they have purchased the furniture on the credit, so at a cost of $8,000 and plus sales tax of 1,200. As I said, so they have purchased the furniture. So basically there is one company called Stung, and the company is registered for the VAT, or you can say for the sales tax. Okay, and the company has purchased the furniture on credit, and while purchasing the furniture they had paid the cost of the furniture along with the sales tax. So you need to think, so their sales tax, the word they have used in regards to the furniture is for the purchase tax, purchase VAT, or you can say input because it's coming, right? Yeah, and that's why this will be the like we will receive this amount from HMRC. Okay, and we don't maintain a separate register for the purchase tax. We will just simply reduce the sales tax or the whatever the VAT payable to HMRC. We will net off those amount from them. Okay, so let's evaluate the option. I think you might have familiar with the question now. So now, what accounting entry we passed at the time of purchase of the furniture? So basically the furniture is an asset, and asset is, we are purchasing the asset means asset is increasing, and increase in asset means it should be debited, right? So we will debit asset, but here they have clearly mentioned the word furniture. That's why we will consider the word furniture in the debit side. Okay, I will simply write FU. And as I said, sales tax, okay, forget about the sales tax for now. And they purchase this furniture on the credit, means they don't have paid the cash, or they don't have credited their bank, right? So it means that it need to be paid. It's a liability. Okay, being liability means it should be posted on the credit side. Okay, so credit will be payables. Okay. Okay, so now if we will go through each and every option, on the debit side it's furniture, and on the credit side it's a payables. The only difference is related to sales tax. So what we will do for the sales tax? So regarding the payable, the whole amount 1200 is payable. Okay, it's 1200. No. It's 1200 plus 8000 means 9200. Okay, so it's a 9200. Okay, and now we are debiting the furniture. And what is the actual cost of the furniture? It's 8,000. Okay, it's 8,000. And the one most important thing, the sales tax. So as I said, we don't maintain a separate ledger for the purchase tax or purchase VAT. So whatever the VAT we paid in regards to the purchase, we will simply net off it from the sales tax or the VAT that is payable to HMRC. So if it is payable to HMRC, we credit. Now we will receive from HMRC, that's why we will debit. So debit sales tax. Okay, and the amount will be your 1200. I hope this is clear now. Okay. Okay, so now let's evaluate the option. And even though you don't know the answer, you should try your elimination method. It's very important in the knowledge level that if you have a logic, if you have a good understanding of something, you can just find out the correct option by eliminating. Okay, so try to do this. Just don't leave any question. By your logic, try to even solve the question for which you don't know the answer. Okay, so in option A, they have debited the furniture, that's correct, and credited the payables. So do you think the amount they use is correct? No. Okay, so even though they don't consider for the sales tax, there might be something for the sales tax, right? We can't show or we capitalize it with along with the furniture cost. So that's why option A is incorrect. And moving to the option B, they have credited sales tax. As I said, this sales tax is receivable from HMRC. So we will simply net off this amount from the what the VAT that is payable to HMRC. That's why we will debit, not the credit. So it's also incorrect. And regarding option C, it's correct. And regarding option D, it's same as for the A, and they have only used the amount for 8,000. They have omitted 1,200. So in this way, we can find out our correct option. That's the C. Okay, so moving to the next question, number 135. What the question says is, are the following statement about sales tax are true or false? Okay, let's read out this statement. So first statement says sales tax is a form of indirect taxation. So basically we know that there are two type of taxation. One is the direct and other one is indirect. So direct means that you pay the tax by yourself, like in case of employment, self-assessment, right? You pay the tax by yourself. But the sales tax is a VAT. So it's the business who is registered for the VAT, they will pay on the behalf of the customer to HMRC. They will simply collect the VAT from all the customer, and while selling the goods which are VAT on which VAT need to be charged, and they will collect those amount and they will pay back to HMRC. So it's correct. Sales tax is a form of indirect taxation. It's true. So now statement second says if input tax exceed output tax, the difference is payable to tax authority. See what I say. The input tax means the tax that you pay on purchase of the goods. It's purchase tax, purchase VAT, and output tax is the tax that you charge to customer at the time of selling of the goods. So it's a sales VAT and if your sales VAT is more than the purchase one, in that case, you need to pay HMRC. However, if purchase VAT or purchase tax is more than the sales one, that in that case you will receive from HMRC. So it's incorrect, it will be false. If this statement says like this, like if sales tax exceed input tax, the difference is payable to HMRC, in that case it's true. But they say opposite, they say input tax exceed output tax, so in this case we will receive not payable to HMRC. Okay. Third statement, sales tax is included in the reported sales and purchase of the sales tax registered business. See, those business who are registered for the VAT, who are registered for the sales tax, they need to charge VAT, as well as they will receive VAT if they have paid on some goods or item they purchase for the business. But in the sales ledger and the purchase ledger, we will simply record the net amount, not the sales tax. For the sales tax or for the VAT, there is separate ledger. So that's why it's not included. Okay, so it's false. And the sales tax cannot be recovered on the sum purchase. That's true. In the VAT will be charged 20% or on 0%. On some goods, no VAT need to be charged. Or in some case, the VAT will even in case of client entertaining. If in the VAT chapter, you will learn about this in taxation F6 paper. So if there is VAT related to the client entertaining, you can't recover the VAT on those items. So it's true. Okay. So next question 136, and what the question says, based upon the following information, what is the cost of purchase? Okay. This question you can solve it either through the laser, or you can simply do your plus minus calculation. You will get the answer. So I will try to solve it by the both of the methods. Some might be the new viewer, or some might be the who have been expert in this kind of calculation. So let's start with the laser. So the question is said, what is the cost of purchase, and they have given the opening balance for the payables, okay, and closing balance for the payable. So it's a payable ledger. So payable means it should be credited. Sorry, what I did. Okay, so this is the payable ledger, right? Okay, and the opening balance means it should be on the credit side because it's a liability, and increasing liability means it should be posted on the credit side. So what's the amount? It's a 14600. Okay. Okay, and the cash paid means you have paid certain amount of cash. I miss out the two here. Okay, and the cash paid, it should be recorded on the debit side, because if we are paying the cash against the payables, then it will reduce our payable balance. And 35342 okay. Okay, so now discount received. Yeah, if you are paying certain cash early, in that case you might receive a discount, and that will also reduce the payable balance. Okay, so it should be posted on the debit side. So 13,200. Okay, and next we have a good return. So means if we found certain good defective and we have returned it to our supplier, so in that case the payable balance will reduce further. So amount will be 27,500. Okay. Okay, and the closing payable means it should be on the debit side. Why? Because if we in the next year it will be opening balance and come to the credit side. That's why it is posted on the debit side now. So 137,800. So now if we will total the debit and credit, it should be equal as per the double entry system. So but it seems to be that the debit part will be more than the credit part. So difference will be booked as the purchase, which will be shown on the credit part side. So let's total 542300. Then we will add 13200 plus 27,500 and then plus 137,800. This will give the total of 720,800, right? And if we will move to the credit side, what is the deficit amount? 142,600. If we will subtract this amount, the remaining will be the purchase, and the amount is straightforward. What's the amount? It's 578,200. All right. So next question. You are given the following information. Based upon the available information, what is the revenue figure for 20x3? One more thing I have been missed out. In case you don't want to make a laser and try to do calculation by like this, in that case you can simply add and subtract the things and you will figure out the correct answer. Like if it is a opening payables, that means obviously it will be positive 600, and the cash paid will reduce the payable balance, so we will subtract 542300, and discount received, so again it will reduce the payable 13200. Again for the goods return, same case 27,500, and for the closing payable again we will subtract 137,800. You will get the same answer like we did earlier. Okay. You are given the following information. Based upon the available information, what is the revenue figure for 20x3? This is the same case as we did for the payables. Let's do. So suppose this is a receivable ledger and they have given opening balance as on 1st January 20x3. So it should be on the debit side or on the credit side. Let me know by your answer in comment box. Okay, so basically receivable is your asset, and being an asset it should be on the debit side, right? So receivable at 1 January means it is a brought forward balance. Okay, and the amount is 10,000, right? Okay, and receivable at 31st January means it's a closing balance, and it will be on the opposite of the balance brought forward. Always remember this rule. It's a 9K, right? And total receipt during the 20x3 including cash sales of 5,000 is 85,000. So here is a trick. So they have a certain cash sale as well of amount 5,000, which should not be part of the receivable. Basically receive only the sales on the credit will be the part of the receivables, and they have a cash sales of 5,000 which couldn't be the part, so we need to deduct this amount from this, and the total receipt will be now 80K. So what is the revenue figure that we have generated here? So difference will be revenue, right? So if we will total the debit and credit side, you will see the credit side is more than the debit. Okay, and the credit side it will be 89K, on the debit side there is only 10k remaining, right? So if according to double entry system both the debit and credit should be equal, and so we must have 89k here as well, so the difference will be booked as the revenue, which is 79k. Okay, but but the question don't end here. So basically question is asking what is the revenue figure. They don't ask the revenue figure on the credit. We need to consider the both cash as well as credit. So we have a cash sale of 5,000 as well. So 79 sales was happened on the credit and 5,000 was happened on the cash. Adding these two figure will give 84,000, which is the revenue figure for 20x3. I know most of the student when they got this figure from the receivable balance, they simply put this as answer and move on, and they won't get a marks. Okay, so that's why it's very important to read the question again and again, and the question what the question is asking. Okay, next question we have 38. So what is the value of Preet revenue for the year? Preet is a sole proprietor whose accounting records are incomplete. All the sales are cash sales, and during the year 50,000 was banked, including 5,000 from the sale of the business car. Preet paid 12,000 wages in cash from till and withdraw the 2,000 per month as drawing the cash in the till at the beginning and end of the year were 300 and 400 respectively. So basically the information they have given is for the cash ledger, and they have given the opening and closing balance as well. So cash is a asset, and being an asset it should be posted on the debit side. So on balance forward will be posted on the debit side, and the carry forward balance will be posted on the credit side. So what is the carry balance forward amount? It's 300. And what is the year end closing balance? It's a 400, right? Okay, so all the sales are cash during are the cash sales. So basically there is no credit sales, so whatever the amount we will receive we need to figure out that will be related to the sales. And during the year 50,000 was banked, including the 5,000 from the sales of the business card. So 50,000 was banked. So whatever the cash we received, we simply banked, right? So it will reduce the cash balance by 50,000. Okay, I will simply write down the 50k. Okay, and in this 50,000, the 5,000 is from the sales of the business. So we have received 5k as well from the sales of the business card. Okay, and the Preeti paid a 12,000 wages in cash from till, so they have paid a wages for 12k, and withdraw 2,000 per month as a drawing. So it means in the year wise it will be 24k, right? Yes. So let's add the debit and credit side. So we can see the credit part will be more than the debit. So what's the total for the credit side? Because under double entry system we need to balance the debit and credit, right? So 50,000 plus 12,000 plus 24,000, and again we have a 400. So this will give a total 86,400, right? Okay, but on the debit part it's only 5,300. So it should be 86,400 on the debit part as well as a total, but there is some difference, and difference need to be considered as the sales. So if we will subtract 5,000 and again 300, we have a sales balance of 81,100, which will give the option C. Okay. Okay. So if you go to the other option, the D1, how this might have came, someone might have removed this balance. That's why the answer D might have came for them. And regarding 81,000, how they will get up, this answer will be like, there might be some mistake they have been done, right? But actual answer is C. Okay. The next question we have is, the following transaction took place during Ashwin's first month of trading, and what was the balance of Ashwini sales tax account at the end of the first month of trading? So basically, it's VAT's laser, output VAT laser, and they have a credit sales of 121,000, but it will exclude the sales tax. So how we will calculate the sales tax if it has been excluded? It's very simple. Okay. In this kind of question, you need to look out what is the sales tax amount. In our case, it's a 20%, right? So 121,000 is the credit sales. So if the question says exclusive, in that case we will multiply by 20 and divide by 100. You will get the VAT or sales tax amount of 24,200. Okay. So it's a liability, so 24,200. Fine. But if now in the next question they says inclusive and it's on the related to purchase, so it will reduce our sales tax balance, so it will be posted on the debit side, right? So how we will calculate if it's say inclusive? So 157 110 and we will multiply by 20, but this time we won't divide by 100. Instead of that we will divide by 120, so it will give 26185. 26185. Payment to credit supplier of 82,710 inclusive of sales tax. So they are simply paying the credit supplier, and at the time they have been booked the payable balance, or they might have recorded this sales tax amount. So in our case, therefore the third transaction will have no impact on the sales tax account. So if we will debit and credit, looking at the debit and credit balance, the debit side is more than the credit side, right? Means the whatever the sales tax we have been paid on the purchase is more than what we collected from the customer. So in that case it will be receivable. So difference will be how much we will receive from HMRC. HMRC will provide 1985. So now 1985, there are two options. So it will be debit or credit. So we are going to receive. So receivable means asset. Asset being so debit. So that's why we will debit. Okay. Okay. So next question we have. Which of the following statements is correct? Carries inward and carries outward are both accounted as an expense in the statement of profit or loss. Yes. So basically, carries inward means the expense or the charges that you incurred in relation to the delivery while purchasing the goods, and carries outward means it's also expense or delivery charge that you incurred in case you are delivering the goods to your customer. So both are expense. It's correct. B. Carries inward and carries outward are both accounted for as income in the statement of profit and loss. No, it's expense. And carries inward is treated as an expense. Carries outward is treated as an income in the statement of profit and loss. It's also incorrect. So carriage inward is treated as an income, and carriage outward, they have just crisscrossed the word. But the thing is, the main concept is that carriage inward will incur in relation to the purchase of the goods, and the carriage outward will incur when you are delivering the goods. So both are the expense, and that should be accounted in the statement of profit or loss. Okay. Question number 141. Jupiter Company returned unsatisfactory goods to Saturn Company, and the goods has been sold on the credit by the Saturn at 100 plus sales tax of 20. What accounting entry are required by Saturn Company to return the goods? To record the return of the goods. So basically, at the time of purchase, the Jupiter Company might have recorded they have purchased the goods, right? So they have debited the purchase, right? And as they have paid the tax. So okay, the question is asking from the point of Saturn Company. This thing also need to be considered. So for Saturn, it's a sales. So how the Saturn have recorded this transaction? So as the goods are sold on the credits, so they have booked the receivables. Okay, and it's a sales, so credit will be sales, and again other credit will be the sales tax. I will write down as T. Okay. So receivable will be 120, sales will be 100, and sales tax will be 20. But at the now customer has returned the goods. Who is the customer? Jupiter Company. So now the Saturn Company have to book the sales return, right? So for that they will debit sales return. I will write down as R. Okay. And again they will debit so again they will debit the sales tax. Okay, and they will credit the receivables, and the amount will be same as we discussed earlier. So it will be 100, 20, 120. Okay, and the sales return also means return inward. Okay, so let's evaluate the option. The option A was the related from the point of view of Jupiter Company who have purchased the goods or initial purchase transaction. So the question has been asked in relation to the Saturn Company, so it's incorrect. B is return outward, and okay, sorry, it's my fault. Basically, Jupiter Company will book the payables, so here they have been booked receivable, so it's already incorrect. Same case for the B. And the C1 is debit return inward, which I said other name of sales return, and debit sales tax amount is also correct, and credit receivable is also correct. So C is the correct answer. And regarding D, they are increasing 120. Basically, this is the initial transaction which I had received. 120 is the initial transaction which has happened at time of purchase. Now the customer is returning the goods, so receivable balance should be reduced. And how we will do that? By crediting the receivable balance. Okay, so that's why it's incorrect. So in this video we will do up to question number 141. In coming up video we will start from the 142. So I hope this video is useful for you guys. So please subscribe and hit the like button of this video, and also don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for the more updates regarding my videos. So I thank you so much guys. Have a good day. Bye.